Uh, uh. mm. Ah. Oh, yuck. Every day. Oh my god, that tastes like shit. Oh. Mango. My push-ups and weights and stretches take me about, what, 7-8 minutes out of a day. And then chewing the protein bar, the Musashi 40 high protein 45 gram bar is 45 gram of protein, not 45 gram bar. Actually, how big is the bar? The entire bar is 90 grams, so that's 45 grams of protein, 3.2 grams of carbs, and a bunch of other stuff. I took a berocca, which is not currently in front of me, so I can't tell you exactly what's in that, but if you look up what berocca is, you'll be able to find out the ingredients there. I have the Musashi bar and the berocca, and I wash one down with the other, and they do not taste good together, but I'll tell you one thing, it helps with the bar. It really helps with the bar. If you take a sip of that, you might actually be able to swallow it, because the Musashi bar is so chewy that it is actually hard to swallow. It just, I can't even really tell you what the texture is, but it's of a consistency that if you don't chew it for a long amount of time, you risk choking on it. You risk choking on it, in my opinion, because you need a certain amount of moisture in order to break down everything to a degree where it's safe to swallow, instead of it just being like you're choking something big and viscous. But yeah, so I take one of those every day after my workout, and berocca as well. I usually do this before streams. I want to work in a walk a day as well, like so regular, going for walks regularly. I'd like to do that, because despite the fact that now I feel like my upper body has, you know, some muscle mass to it, the downside of that is also I haven't gotten enough cardio, and as an asthmatic, cardio is really hard. So I still have a midsection. I'm very ashamed of my midsection, because I've grew up as the scrawny kid. I was like super skinny, super lean, up until I was about 25. I went from that to having back problems, gaining a bunch of weight, fighting to get away from being fat, and then the back problems continued and continued. Then I ended up not just with muscle spasms, I ended up with bulging discs, and yeah, it's just been a whole process. So I do the stretches because my physiotherapist has told me that these are the ones that are really good, especially for the lumbar, and it's also good to increase your flexibility in general. It's always good to stay on top of that. It increases blood flow throughout your whole body and everything, and if you've got a sedentary life like I do, where you are constantly in front of a computer or sitting down or doing anything, it's always good to get up and do things. I need to do more of that during my streams. I need to get up and actually walk around and stretch and do stuff, because I can just hyper focus and just go, whoa, there goes 12 hours, and then go, ah, shit, A, I'm hungry, B, I can't feel my legs. That's not good. You don't want that. I don't recommend doing what I do for your own personal exercise routine. This is something that I've worked out, I've spoken to physios about. It's an exercise routine that works for me, that I've been slowly building. You don't start by doing the amount that I do. You have to go a lot smaller. Like, for example, I'm still only doing 10 push-ups a day, and the reason for that is because I don't want to overwork myself for the rest of what I need to do. But my plan is everything that you guys just saw is to do that 3 times a day. So when I feel comfortable and I feel like I'm able to do that, so I'm going to increase it to 2 times a day. We'll see how we do. We'll see how we feel. I might reduce the amount of reps per set to do it 2 times a day and then build myself up and then build it again and again and again until I am at the stage where I am now with the 1 set a day, and then hopefully move it to 2 sets, then to 3 sets, and then that way I've got a morning, middle of the day, and nighttime routine, and that way I've got like 3 workouts in a day that take what, fucking 8 minutes times 3 is like what, 24 minutes, and then you got to work out with the bar as well. So I'm probably not going to have 3 bars a day. I'm probably going to have 1 bar and 1 berocca, but you know, that combined with a healthy diet, combined with walking as well, I think that will work really well. Now, I want to do more than 10 push-ups a day. I used to be able to do, I think it was 120 push-ups in a day. That was when I was lighter. When you are as heavy as I am, push-ups are harder because you have more weight that you're pushing against. So I have to train myself to do more. Right now, I think comfortably, I'd probably be able to do 20, 25 in one go. The only thing is when it comes to my physical health, you don't want to do that. You don't want to go, I'm at 10, let's go 25. Because even if you're capable of doing that, the next day and then maybe 3 days after that, you're fucked. You won't be able to do it, and then you end up losing the muscle mass. You end up damaging your muscles, and you can't do anything about that. So I'm having the protein bars for muscle recovery. I'm having the berocca, so then I've got all of the minerals and proteins and everything inside of me to make everything function as it should. And I'm trying to lower my cholesterol at the same time, which is just because I have a high cholesterol, not because I'm like overly conscious of it. I'm still going to eat good food. I'm still going to eat food that I want to eat. I'm just going to reduce the portions that I eat those foods in. Trying to reduce the size of your stomach so then you don't have to constantly feed the void. It helps a lot, quite a lot, with losing weight, at least losing fat. So if I'm doing this exercise, I gain more muscle than I do fat, and then that way eventually it balances out, and then I lose the gut, and then I can feel comfortable with myself again. And I'm not doing this because I want to look good. I'm doing this because I want to be healthy. I'm doing this because I have, since I'm 32 now, so for the last 7-ish years, outside of like when I was 23, I had my first back, I think it was 22, 23, I had my first back problem that I actually had not sick leave, what was it, work cover for, because I got injured at work. Lifting correctly, I got injured at work. So that was a scary moment. The doctor told me, you can't do that anymore because if you continue on the path that... You're right there, dog! If you continue on the path that you're going down, you're going to end up in a wheelchair. And I'm like, why? And they're just like, oh, well, you've did some scans, everything. It's like, oh, you've got a 6th lumbar vertebrae. I'm like, great, that's nice. So I have to personally, don't try this at home unless like you want to give it a go, just a go, and see like if you're already doing exercises and everything else, then you want to see if it's like a hard thing. My weights are only... Hi, Tony. So I need to talk to the people. I'll give you some pats afterwards, okay? My weights are only 5 kilograms each, so that's 5 kilos in each hand, but when you combine them together, they're heavier, especially if you're doing those ones or these ones. They're heavier because, you know, you put them together and you're doing it together. It's still 5 kilogram weights, but it's like the equivalent of holding 10 kilograms if you're doing it over the head and everything. I don't know the names of these exercises, I just do them. I don't know the names of the precise, like, what are the bicep curls? I do variations of the bicep curls, so, you know, you got the one that's the normal one, the one that's kind of like a hammer fist, and the one that's reversed. These are all appropriate exercises. They're all correct weightlifting techniques, but you need to know how many of these to do each, because they sort of concentrate on different aspects of the same muscle group, if that makes sense. I'm not a fitness instructor. You shouldn't listen to any medical or exercise advice from me. I'm just saying what works for me, because a lot of stuff didn't work for me, and this is what I've discovered that actually does. I have been doing this routine every day for I think I skipped one day, and I had a few days off when I had gastro, because if I would have done my weights when I had gastro, it would have been Not the muscles I needed to worry about, but perhaps my underwear. But outside of that, I think for the past like month, I've been doing this every day. That is, prior to that month, I've been working my way up to this point. Now, I would like to get to the point where I'm doing 50 of the standard bicep curls and then work towards more, like work towards the 2 to 3 times a day. The push-ups, I want to increase to at least 20 to 25. And then I essentially want to work to the point where I can do, I think, 50 to 100 push-ups a day. Yeah, 25. So 3 reps of 25 throughout the day. So that would be 75, right? Yeah, 75 push-ups a day would be comfortable for me. I could do more, but that being said, you don't want to go further than your body can allow. I'm going to see a pain specialist where I'm still booked in for a MRI scan for my lower back. I'm still going to have a few sessions with the pain clinic that is impossible to get into, so I'm grateful that my doctor got me in. But I've spoken to them, I've told them what I do, what my routine is. They said, well, if it works for you, keep doing what you're doing. If you're having flare-ups, then you might be doing yourself harm. But the only times I do myself harm is not when I'm doing the exercise. I did one time where I tried to touch my toes. I was just standing up straight and I tried to touch my toes with both legs straight and then just bend over and touch my toes. I felt not a crack, but a rip, and it felt horrible. And immediately I shot back up and went, oh, fuck, and then stumbled down the hallway asking for Manna. I'm like, help me! Considering I was still able to walk, I'm like, okay, so I haven't damaged my spine, but this is bad. We got an ice pack onto that immediately. I took anti-inflammatories, which I do every day as well. Again, don't take my medical advice for anyone else other than myself. This is just telling you what I have to go through on a daily basis. So I have diclofenac, which is a anti-inflammatory. It's a fairly hardcore anti-inflammatory. It's way better than your standard ibuprofen. Diazepam as well, that is there for my muscle spasms, which I don't take often. I only take it maybe once a week, depending. If it's really bad, then I might take it like 2-3 times a week and then have a few days off and stuff like that. But like, I mean, sometimes I go weeks without it, so I don't, it's not necessary for me to rely on diazepam or any sort of benzos or anything like that. It's just there as a, okay, cool, things are bad, I'm feeling like it's bad, I need to take this. And then that way I can get through the day, I can get through the next fear, you know what I mean? Also, like, if the pain gets very severe, especially with the bulging disc, can be extremely painful because there's like pinched nerves and everything else that can be associated with the problems that I have. I have to take like strong opiates, so that will be, depending on the severity of the pain, that will be anywhere from Panadeine Forte to endone. Turns out tramadol, that I learned recently, has more in common with antidepressants, which is why I don't do well on tramadol, because I don't do well on antidepressants. So my doctors marked me off as allergic to that because it doesn't affect me right. It doesn't make me feel right. So yeah, I don't really know what tramadol is. All I know is I want to stay clear of it from here on out. I had some slow release stuff that was very handy during a certain time where my flare-ups were just perpetual. And I was on tramadol for a little while, and although it did kind of help with the pain, it also made me feel a little sick. It also made me feel like, I don't know, it was just a strange sensation. Like, I can handle endone, I can handle Panadeine Forte, I can handle pretty much whatever you give me, I can handle. Except, like, tramadol was just, I don't know, it just made me feel really uncomfortable and unsure of myself. The other drugs I've sort of, like, because I've had to take so much of it, I'm used to. So I take it, I go, this is the expected effect. Now that's something that's interesting, because a lot of people have problems with addiction when it comes to opiates and all that sort of stuff. I've never found myself addicted to it, and I've never had, withdrawal symptoms from that. But the only time I did get withdrawal symptoms was when I weaned myself off of, well, I didn't actually wean myself, I did a really bad, I think I've already told you guys about this, but when I was on antidepressants, I went cold turkey off antidepressants, and that was bad. If it's not working for you, you can't just go cold turkey because it can fuck you up. You need to wean yourself off. So again, speak to your doctor about things before you change medications. Or if you take medications, speak to your fucking doctor. Go to your GP. And if you want physical advice about fitness, weight loss, or any of that sort of stuff, talk to a instructor, like a fitness instructor, someone who is a specialist in that. Talk to a physio, talk to many of these professionals. Not me. I don't know what's going on with what's going on with you, your body, or your life. I have no idea. I'm just saying what works for me. Anyway, so these are the heavy opiates that they put me on, my endone and stuff. They hit you hard. They hit you really hard. They get you high. They do. That's why people get addicted to it. They get addicted to the high, and then there's a chemical reliance that goes with that as well. I think it's about like the dopamine receptors and everything else. But anyway, I don't know the full ins and outs of it. All I know is that it can be a very addictive substance, the same as diazepam. I've been taking these substances for such a long time, but always on and off as the doctor prescribes, except for in rare circumstances where I've had to take them so much that my body becomes resistant to it, and then I have to take like a more powerful dosage, but that is still within safe norms. Like, you're not going to overdose on that, but I speak to my doctor. If I need to increase my medications, I speak to my doctor, and my doctor understands that due to my experience, like if I need to increase it by a pill or something like that just in order to get rid of the pain or whatever, provided it's the correct one and it's not mixed with a certain other drug. Like, for example, you can get Panadeine Fort that it has paracetamol. You don't want 500 megs of paracetamol in each pill and then have more than the standard dosage. You should only have 2 of those because of how they are. So just take your drugs as prescribed. So I do that. There was one that I had that was, it doesn't matter. I'm trailing. I think the moral of the story is just take your drugs as the doctor prescribes. If you want to go seek some medical advice, go see your GP. If you want to go see some physical fitness advice, go to a gym and go ask a trainer, you know what I mean? Talk to a professional about anything that you need in your life, because I can't give you the answers. I also don't recommend trying any of the exercises that I do, and if I'm doing them incorrectly, you could hurt yourself. Or if you do them incorrectly, you could hurt yourself. I'm doing it to the best of my abilities that I know how, that I believe is correct, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people in the comments going, "You're doing that wrong," or "What's that exercise? Why you do this?" Well, so far, it hasn't been a detriment to me. I've been gaining muscle mass. I've been feeling a lot better. I've had less flare-ups. And overall, I've actually been on a really good recovery cycle. I haven't lost much weight, and the only reason for that is because muscle weighs more than fat. But I still have a gut, which means go for walks. That will reduce. I'll start to feel better once I start doing cardio and start activating myself a little bit more. But progress. So outside of everything else that I'm doing, this is a part of my life that I usually wouldn't want to share with other people in general, because for me, I'm not the type of person that goes to the gym. I'm not a gym junkie. I don't care about, physical fitness all that much. I don't care about being like the strongest person or anything. Like, if I did, I'd be taking off my shirt and been like, "Oh, the guns, bro, the guns!" I don't care about that sort of stuff. I'm like, if I feel comfortable in myself, that's all. I don't care what you think of me. I care what I think of me. Like, I think that that's the way that people should move forward, like with life. It's best not to judge others by their appearance. It's best to judge others by their actions, or just don't judge people at all. If you feel like you are in a position to judge another human being, maybe take a look at yourself and realize that you're judgmental. So instead of being judgmental, be open-minded and look towards the future, man, because like we're all equal here. We're all just living our lives, and this is mine, and I'm trying to share it with you guys because you guys are a part of my life and I care about you. I may not know you personally as individuals, but I do see the comments, I do see the response that we get on the channel, and I understand that some people care, some people don't, and some people are indifferent, so it really doesn't matter. The main thing is I'm starting to feel good about myself and I'm starting to feel better. This video is too damn long, so I'm ending it now. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell button and do me a favor, let people know I exist, and I'll see you soon, INTERPEEPS.